Welcome to Unity Wilmington. My name is Reverend Nikki Golden. Thank you for being here, present in the room, and thank you for being here online. We are a hybrid service. We honor all the paths to God, especially the path that you are on. And we teach unity principles here. Our goal is to expand consciousness and invite personal transformation. We are blessed today with some guest speakers. We have Armand and Angelina. Some of you know them from their many years of being with Unity churches and their times of being here. They have been here as our guest musicians and speakers before. They bring merriment and mirth to the moment. And I think that you will enjoy this very much. So if you allow your hearts to open, sit back, to relax, to engage, to open yourself to transformation, take the journey with us today. They are international speakers. They are musicians. They are players in this beautiful game of life, filled with joy and ready and willing to teach us principle in a way that delights us. So thank you for your presence. If you are here online, if you would leave a comment, say hello, put something down that you really like, that would be absolutely wonderful, because we want to respond to you later today. And here they are, Armand and Angelina.
Katie, thanks for that beautiful music. And thank you for that wonderful introduction, Reverend Nikki. This is, it's interesting because we sing that song, Come On In, when we're at Unity of Pompano down in Florida. That's one of their songs. So we are delighted to be here with you today. We're going to be doing the music and the message and everything all together. This is one of our favorite places to be, and this is actually our first tour since March of 2020. So y'all are a part of, we call this the Great Unpause, because we were all part of the Great Pause, and now we're the Great Unpause. So thanks for being a part of it, and thanks for having us here. We've had more cancellations than we want to talk about, and we will be dealing with what it feels like to be canceled or rejected, because we know there is a higher power. And we do love the idea that unity is so interfaith. Today, Henrik gave me this wonderful yarmulke, so today I'm celebrating my Jewishness. And so I wrote a song years ago, I'm a Christian, Buddhist, Taoist Jew. I'm a Western boy with an Eastern view. I meditate and I was baptized too. I'm a Christian, Buddhist, Taoist Jew. And so I'm doing that today, so great. So the first song we're gonna do for you is a song that we found out that Unity of Stuart, Florida, did this song as their service, as their special music last week. And I said, oh, that's a song I wrote like 100 years ago. I think 1992 BA, which stands for Before Angelina. And I said, can we resurrect it? And so we talked about it, and then we're gonna do it for the first time in probably a decade. So this is called Greater Than Me. This was inspired when I saw my very first redwood tree. Anybody seen a redwood tree? I saw it in New Zealand, a California redwood tree. I saw my very first one in New Zealand. That's weird. And I realized there was a seed, a little minuscule seed. And now there's this redwood tree, that the entire redwood tree consciousness was in that seed. And I thought, that's us. If you don't believe in God, I don't know how you can look at a redwood tree and not believe in God. I always say, if we want to help an atheist, take him to the Grand Canyon and to the redwood forest, and they might have a conversion. Anyway, I asked a guy the other day, I said, you're really atheist? He said, yeah, swear to God. Okay, so this is Greater Than Me. First time to do it in a decade. So far, so good. When I look around at all the things that are happening simultaneously, I get the sense of an energy that made everything great and small. From From a tiny seed to a redwood tree, from an act of love that formed us all. And I know that there's something that's greater than me, keeps it all flowing so perfectly. When all of our chaos becomes harmony, I know, yes, I know that there's something much greater than me. Bumblebees and gravity are mysteries unexplained by me. To the deepest sea, there's a reason for me to believe. And I know that there's something that's greater than me, keeps it all flowing so perfectly. When all of our chaos becomes harmony, I know, yes, I know that there's something that's greater than me. And no, not with my head, no, not with my eyes, but my heart that connects with an all-knowing mind. I feel like an astronaut twirling through space and through time. When I look around at all the things that are happening simultaneously, I realize what the children are, the most valuable resource of all. And I know that there's something that's greater than me, keeps it all flowing so perfectly. When all of our chaos becomes harmony, I know, yes, I know that there's something much greater than me. Greater than me. Greater than me. Greater than me. There we go. All right, so we're going to lead you into a meditation time. We're going to sing a little chant to you, and that will lead us in, and then we will guide you a little bit with words, but mostly with music. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And we invite you now to tap into that peace. You may close your outer eyes. Tap into the still small voice of God, quiet the mind, allow the eternal part of yourself to become amplified. As we relax, it can be helpful to bring our attention to our breathing. This miraculous, involuntary taking in of spirit, respiration, inspiration, releasing that which no longer serves us, yet feeding the plant world. allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred journey into the peace of God, where there is no rejection, where there is no cancellation, where there is only love and peace and joy. The truth beyond the veil. Very gently now, begin to bring your attention back to the physical world, your physical body, this sacred sanctuary where we gather in person and in cyberspace to be reminded of the truth of who we are. Divine children of the universe, worthy of all the love that surrounds us and available from Source. Thank you, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God. And so it is. Amen. Angelina will now sing the Lord's Prayer, and I will speak the Aramaic. Abun de Boashmaya. Need to Kadash Mach. Tete Makuta. wide Savina. I cannot. De Boashmaya. Obaha. Haulan Lahma. De Sukna Yamana. Washwoklan Halbin. I cannot dafnan. Shwakenel Hayabin. Ula Talan. El Nisdona. Ela Pasana. Minbisha. Laki Malkuta, Uhaila Utishbota, La Alam Almin, Amen. We invite you to breathe those words in, those words given to us by our great way shower, reminding us that things do not always go as planned, reminding us that we were meant to be here experiencing heaven on earth, and we are going to be sharing different ways that we can tap into that birthright more quickly. Okay. So I am going to fix that right this moment.
Right. So it's kind of good something like that would happen.
On today, yes.
On today, because today's talk is about rejection and how we feel and how we can rise above that and look to the joy in that. So here's a quiet time of meditation and some peppy music comes on. So, it's just a balance of being in that space and all of a sudden being in a not the way we planned, but the way things sometimes happen.
You want to make God laugh? Tell her your plans. That's what I heard anyway. All right, so yes, today's message is there's no such thing as rejection. Now, who's ever felt rejected? How's that feel? Not so good. Now, that doesn't mean we're not supposed to feel what our inner children feel, because what I always say is your inner child doesn't understand metaphysics. Your inner child understands what they feel, okay? And so things feel like rejection. But what I learned in the unity movement and through a lot of different speakers like Wayne Dyer, which is sort of my, he was sort of my gateway drug to unity. And so I got into that after college, and then in '84, somebody told me, there's a church that thinks like you, and I said, no, there isn't. And they said, yes, there is. And I said, yeah, I don't like church. He goes, I know, but it's called Unity Church. It's for people who don't like church. And I said, okay. Now, speaking of church, community, the fact that you are here today, I've had a lot of different people say that, well, I can get that, online, or I can get that off watching Oprah Super Soul Sunday. You can get a lot, and you can. But there's something about human community connection that takes you to a place that's higher than all of that. So really, when you're around other people, I highly recommend that you have an opportunity to actually be in spiritual community, because that's where the mirrors shine the brightest, okay? in those communities.
And for those that can't do that at this time,
We're glad you're here.
The blessing that we have, that we can stream and it can be on, YouTube and that kind of thing, so that everyone gets to be in the space they need to be in right now.
Hallelujah. Honoring every person. I love your little stickers back there, the green, the yellow, and the red, to honor each person. I'm going to get my green one eventually. I forgot. But yeah, honor each person's space. Really, to me, that's the most important thing I got going to Unity, was that we are here to honor each other's space, okay? There's really 7 billion different religions, okay? You may affiliate with one more closely than another, but we all have our own religion, our own ideologies, okay? Our own ways of identifying ourselves. And so Unity, embraces all of that. I love it. My mom said to me once, she says, do you know, I want to learn more about this stuff you're into. I felt this way my whole life. Most people that get into Unity don't go into a new place. They go into a place that feels familiar. They've been thinking about that their whole life, and they didn't think there was a place for them. My mom said, do you know there's actually people that don't love other people? I hate them. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about different things that we have learned in Unity that remind us that there's no such thing as rejection. Okay, the first one I heard was everything's in divine order. My brain couldn't process that, but my heart felt it and knew it automatically. There's much more intelligence in the heart than the brain. The brain has a lot of good intellect, but the heart has intelligence. I'd rather be around somebody with a high emotional intelligence than a super high intellect. Both is awesome too, but yeah, intelligence. I would like to have more intelligence in my life, because I've been smart at times, but I wasn't too intelligent, okay? And so I want to be more intelligent. And so those kinds of ideas that everything's in divine order will resonate with your intelligence, even if your intellect says, yeah, but not that. And then when you get into Unity, you'll be like, wow, everything is in divine order. We're all doing exactly what we're supposed to do, except that politician or that guy or that girl, right? It's all the way. Everything's happening the way it's supposed to. And here's the paradox. So is your desire to change it. That way you don't sit around. You go, wait a second, what about my desire to make the world a better place? That's also perfect. It's perfect as it is, and it's perfect that we want to make it better, okay? You've heard of the idealist and the pessimist, or the optimist and the pessimist. The pessimist goes, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. The optimist says, no, it only appears that way because we're ascending. Okay, that was a Swami Biyandananda joke, one of my favorite people. So here's another one. If you saw the movie The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, and you may have heard our song, which we may be doing tomorrow night, based on that line, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Okay, I think John Lennon first said that, but that was the line in the movie, and I wrote a song about it. And to me, that embraces the paradox. Everything will be okay in the end if it's not okay. In other words, for our human self or our inner child self, or however you want to call it, it doesn't feel okay when things don't go the way we want them to. And that's when you say, we understand that. Let me give you a hug. And it's not the end. Eckhart Tolle, this too shall pass. Okay? Those are all ways to remind you not to get stuck in the fear, to see the light in the darkness, even if you can't see it. See, if you can't see it, you have to go to a deeper level. You have to have faith, okay? If you can't see it, you have to go to a faith. That's something beyond your seeing with your eyes, seeing with your heart. I have faith. Often people have said fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Unless you're being chased by a wild animal, then it's forget everything and run. But faith has often been said to stand for feeling all right in the heart. It doesn't mean your brain gets it, okay? There are things that happen that your brain has trouble getting. It will lead you to where you want to be eventually, okay? God will put you in your destiny, but it doesn't always feel good, okay? If anybody's ever been divorced, that is an ultimate feeling of rejection, even if it's your decision. You're rejecting something that you believed when you did it would happen forever, okay? But if you get out of a situation that is not good for you, it might lead you to the girl of your dreams, and vice versa. So that worked out pretty good.
Did rock,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. But there's a million of those things. We all have them.
Well, I thought maybe we could bring the example of everything's in divine order when the edition that we're having put on happened.
Okay. So yes, we we decided to do an edition last year during COVID because we got a message. We said, boy, it would be nice to have a designated music room in our home. We've got instruments all over the house, and we have a fairly small house on American standards, even though it's twice as big as the world size. If you're going to want to compare yourself to something, compare yourself to how the world lives. Don't compare yourself to rich Americans. Compare yourself to how the world lives, and you will feel even more abundant, okay? So we decided we'd have this, and we were like, well, universe, if we're supposed to have it, let's have it. And like within a week, we got this small business association COVID-related loan for enough to pay for the music room. And we're like, oh man, be careful what you ask for. We got to build an addition.
Yeah, who knew what project
we have
that
to
is.
practice what we preach. We said if it comes, we'll do it. So we did that. Anyway, with a lot of different things, it turned out to cost a whole lot more.
It's not even done, and it's been
been a year.
A year.
It's been a wonderful learning experience
Yes.
to surrender and trust in the divine order. And we do get there.
Right. So I always say with those kind of things, like it's a learning experience, and it brings that we have wisdom, and we can maybe pass that along to another person who wants to do this. And so anyway, our contractor, the construction people were there, and they were putting the roof. It wasn't complete, so they tarped it up, but somehow the tarping didn't work. And so we live in Florida. There's lots of good rain in Florida, and so we had quite the rain, which made it come into our house.
100 gallons of rainwater came into our house in 1 hour.
Right.
That was fun.
Yeah, stressful, and what do you do? And Armand started singing and put the music on to Everything Will Be Okay.
Alexa, play Okay in the End by Armand and Angelina. So that was the first thing we did. I need to hear this song right now. Authors, writers, songwriters, they don't get songs to share with the public. They get inspiration from God for them, and then they share it. And so everything there, everything I've written in my book and all the songs I look at and I go, that was all God giving me a message that I get to share with other people. So
we tried to make it fun because we weren't having fun. So I made margaritas. And so as we were cleaning up the water and the mess and moving furniture out and all that, we sang and had margaritas and picked up all that water.
It took us 8 hours of shop vac and everything to get this done, and we just knew this too shall pass. Everything's in divine order. Everything will be okay in the end.
We had to move the furniture eventually anyway because they were building the addition, so we just very quickly moved the furniture, and now it's ready for the completion of the addition. So.
Right, because they hadn't broken through the wall yet when that happened. So here's the other thing that's really cool. We called the insurance. Because we were there and we worked so diligently, we moved everything out. We saved everything. We pulled the carpet back. We put fans on. It was unbelievable. With towels and a spin cycle and a dryer, we were moving towel, spin cycle, dryer, towel, spin cycle, dryer, boom, boom, boom. And we just did it like on automatic pilot. We just did it. And then the insurance company came. And we showed him, and I said, look, we saved this stuff. We saved that this furniture got a little water damage, but we don't care. We're going to kind of paint over it. The carpet back, we saved everything. And they said, you did an awesome job. You saved everything. Nothing is forced to be replaced. However, it is our job. We have to give you replacement value on anything that got even a little bit damaged. So they wrote us a check, and after fixing whatever we had to fix, we had $5,000 extra. All because we saved it from being beyond repair, and we were able to do all that. Well, that helped us with the extra money, part of the extra money that the addition is going to cost. The rain actually gave us $5,000 extra, legitimately. We didn't, do anything out of order to get it. We just said, this is what we got, this is the damage, but we're going to keep it anyway. And they said, no, we have to pay you for replacement damage. So we did not know that it was going to be a blessing in disguise. We knew that it would all work out and that everything's in divine order, but we didn't know that. So those kind of things have happened to all of us hundreds of times.
Right.
Things that we thought was the end of the world. COVID.
Right.
That's a very good example. We have not been able to really work since March of 2020. And that felt like huge rejection because in March, I had all of 2020 booked. All the painstaking work of calling the stuff with the ministers and the music directors and setting it all up and having hotels and host families and everything was all set through December. And then I watched them go
one
away.
by one.
And I will tell you, my inner child that doesn't understand anything that I'm saying right now wept, just wept and wept. And I said, that's fine. I'll be here for you. My adult self will be here for you when you get through that, and we're going to see that it's all going to work out. But it was painful, and it's important to honor the emotional part of you that needs to feel. Don't just spiritual bypass. Okay, everything will be all right, and I don't have any negative emotion. Now, if you meet somebody that never has any negative emotion, there is some passive-aggressive stuff in there, and it will come out at you sideways. So you have, right? And we've probably all been that. Everything's fine. Okay, I call it emotionally constipated. It's not a fun thing. It becomes very irregular. Okay, so
for me, though, COVID was a necessary thing for me because we were on the road a lot for many years, and I was finding I was stressed a lot, had a lot of anxiety because I never felt I was home enough to take care of the home stuff, clean out the garage, organize a closet, and I always felt like, not enough time. So COVID actually slowed me down and slowed us down because we weren't on the road. I had a lump in my throat for several years. So when I went to the doctor, my vocal cords were fine, but they said I have this thing called a global sensatus, which is, they don't really know exactly what causes it, but they do say that stress and anxiety causes it, and that it eventually will go away or can go away. And so as the time we've been home, I no longer had that lump in my throat. So for me, it was really a blessing to be home. I'm more of an introvert, so it's really important that I get the alone time and all. And so being home all this time, I'm like really ready to be on the road again and in a joyous way. So I'm really grateful for that part of it for me.
And appreciating the career we had, which we always appreciated it. But the old saying, you don't know what it's got till it's gone, is really, really, really true. I'll give you an example. I thought the admin work was the grunt work to get here. In other words, that was not journey or that destination. That was just a difficult journey to get here. When that was gone, a weird thing happened. Our governor in Florida decided to take away the unemployment and the pandemic relief money 11 weeks early. Now, this is not a political statement. I'm just telling you what happened. We were not thrilled with that, okay? Because we were like, we don't want to go back out in that when the unity churches are not having us back and the attendance is all down. We need a little more cushion. So we weren't that thrilled, and then we're like, okay, everything's in divine order, even this. Have you ever done that before? Yeah, you're in 12-step group, they call it fake it till you make it. Yeah, yay, thank you, Gov. But the minute I realized I had to start calling churches again because we were 11 weeks earlier than we thought, I realized how it fed me. It fed me to call and talk to people and say, hi, how you doing? How's the church going? What's going on? We want to come back. And now I realize every bit of that I used to think was grunt work is part of my vitamin C. In the ADHD world, they call that vitamin connect. It's the second vitamin C, and we need lots of it if we're on that spectrum. And I was missing out on so much of that vitamin C. And just call it. So now I can't wait. I'm booking some churches today. Aren't you all full? I know I need to talk to somebody. It's awesome. Stuff that used to be uncomfortable, all because of that quote unquote rejection, okay? Quote unquote shutdown, all of that. So there's been so many. Yeah, you go.
I also want to talk about what you do when we're like at a restaurant and they're out of something, So we'll be at a restaurant and Armand really wanted raw oysters, and they'll say, we're out of raw oysters right now, sorry. And what do you say, Armand?
I say, what's today? And they say, well, today's Tuesday. Oh my God, it's part of my religion. I don't eat oysters on Tuesday. I'm so glad you didn't bring them. I would be breaking my rules. And they go, really? I go, no, I just made that up, but it makes me feel better. And that's my way of saying I'm not supposed to have them. And there's a really good example of that. Did we cover all of the other areas before we go into this part?
I think so.
Okay. She has to keep me because I squirrel a lot. Squirrel, squirrel. Honey, bring me back. I'm like that dog in Up, Doug. Squirrel. And be very spiritual. Squirrel. You know. So she has to remind me what I'm talking about here. And so we were with a friend in New Jersey. We did our first New Jersey tour. I guess it was 2007 or 2008. And I was like, we're going to New Jersey. How's it going? I was talking to everybody. Hey, how you doing? And I was the only one. It's just, I had this caricature in my mind. My dad's Italian, and he grew up in New Jersey in those days. Yeah, how you doing? You know, artificial respiration in New Jersey. Hey, get up. Anyway, but I was the only one doing it. So it was totally, I don't know what that would be, cultural appropriation. I was doing something that nobody else did, and so I stopped it very quickly. But we ate a lot of Italian food, and my friend, her name is Spring. I don't know if she ever sang here, but Spring used to do what we do. And she said, we're going to go to this restaurant. They've got sauteed calamari. Now, normally if you get calamari, squid for regular people, it's fried. And I prefer it the way my dad used to make it. You know, hey, paisan. I will teach you an Italian word. You know how you say refrigerator in Italian? Hey, how is the box? Anyway, so that has nothing to do with the term squirrel. Anyway, I wanted it the way my dad makes it. He sauteed it in a wonderful Diablo marinara type sauce. And so we got there, and they were out. And I was disappointed. See, disappointment is natural. You can visit it. You just don't want to buy property there. Okay? Don't buy property. Visit. I'm disappointed. Great. What's now? Well, everything's in divine order. So my friend says, you know, Armand, I'm going to give you a new thought principle. There's no such thing as rejection. It's God pointing us in another direction. And I said, yo, not only is that awesome, but that rhymes. That's like a rap. No such thing as rejection. It's just God pointing us in another direction. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll write a song about it. And then I was like, I sang it one day with this, no such thing as rejection. It's God pointing us in another direction. Na, 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 na. And I said, Armand, you just wrote a pirate song. So in honor of Halloween, how much does it cost for a pirate to get their ears pierced? About a buccaneer. Arr. Anyway, okay. So this is no such thing as rejection. And we're going to sing it for you now. It's a true story. And it is one more tool in our tool chest, which I like to call my unity tool chest. I pull it out whenever I need it. And one more tool along with everything's in divine order. This too shall pass. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. We have to find all these wonderful tools when our ego wants to buy property in despair, okay? And again, despair is fine. If you saw the movie Inside Out, the Pixar movie, the little girl, her brain, all of her little people in her brain, sadness, grief, anger, joy. Well, joy was a control freak. And you've met somebody that has joy as a control freak, doesn't allow them to experience any other emotion. We talked about it in emotionally constipated people. And in that show, they proved in that movie, if you haven't seen Inside Out, it's not meant for kids, I can promise you that. It's meant for the adults that are watching it with their kids. Now, there's lots of pretty colors, so the kids are happy too. But the main message was, all the emotions are valuable. They need to work together like an inner family to raise us up. And joy is a wonderful thing to default to, but not to be the only emotion you allow yourself to feel. And you've seen those folks. How you doing? Great. Okay, so this is No Such Thing as Rejection, and we're going to sing it for you now. It is a pirate song. There's no such thing as rejection. It's God pointing us in another direction. It's never rejection. It's God pointing us in another direction. Hey! There's no such thing as rejection. It's God pointing us in another direction. It's never rejection. It's day that I was born and slapped upon my cheeks. You think that I would ascertain the world is rather bleak when I heard a voice of wisdom and in my ear would ring. Don't think the world is against you, there's no such thing. Don't think the world is against you, cause there's no such thing. Here we go. There's no such thing as rejection. It's not pointing us in another direction. It's never rejection. It's not pointing us in another direction. Na, 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 na. At an early age, I knew true love would be my quest. Though many trials and tribulations put me to the test, there were a dozen lovely maidens, much heartache they would bring. I thought the world was against me, but there's no such thing. I thought the world was against me, but there's no such thing. Hey! Na, 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 na. There's no such thing as rejection. It's not pointing us in another direction. It's never rejection. It's not pointing us in another direction. Na, 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 na. Hey! Through my renaissance into my middle ages, becoming fully realized. I trust my inner sages. My quest is done, I found my bride. This holy grail I bring. You know what it is? The world was never against me. There's no such thing. The world was never against me because there's no such thing. Here we go. Thank you, my lords and ladies. Quite nice. So to finish up, since it is Halloween, happy All Hallows Eve, Halloween. Okay, what do goblins eat for breakfast? Ghost toasties. Okay, that's, can we edit that part before it goes on YouTube? Okay, so just a couple quick pirate jokes in honor of the day. What's a pirate's favorite letter? R. You'd think it was R, but we fancy the C. All right. Where does a pirate get their hook? At the second-hand shop. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, and now a word from our sponsor. Thanks for having us. We had a great time.
Thank you both. Thank you. Armand and Angelina, if you'd like some more, then this afternoon they're teaching a play shop on flute, and I've been to it, and it is fantastic. It's a wonderful way to play. And if you'd like to attend a concert, it's tomorrow at 7. I have never been to your concert, but I understand it's really a lot of fun from folks who have been here in the past when you have been here. But thank you so much for navigating us through the idea of rejection and how we can open up to something new and experience it fully with joy. This is a time in our service we're inviting you to engage in the act of generosity, to be able to open your hearts and minds, to tune in, to decide what you would like to give. And we have several ways of doing it. You can go on our website and give. You can go send a check to 717 Orchard Avenue. You can give in the basket if you're here, or you can Venmo. There are many ways. And we thank you in advance for your generosity. Before we close in prayer, may we invite you both up to bless you with the unity blessing. You guys join in as you know it. Armand and Angelina, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. Thank you so much for your presence here today. And we'll just close in prayer. If you have a prayer request, if you have something that you would like to be held in prayer, just raise your hand. We don't need to know what it is, but we do know that God knows exactly what it is. And that's the most important part. So as we join our hearts and minds together today in love, knowing that that's who and what we are, we allow that love to wrap around anything that we are holding in prayer together. And we bring our collective consciousness to that connection, that willingness to open our hearts to our oneness with God and with each other. We see with eyes that see as God sees. We stand in principle. And we hold in our hearts the highest and best for all. And we pray knowing that prayer is the highest mind action on this planet. And that when we bring our hearts and minds into prayer, we are bringing our full self, fully human and fully divine, and calling forth from within each of us, collectively and individually, the knowing of faith, the expression of wisdom, the moving forward in spiritual understanding, and the acknowledgement that there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in our lives. And we stand in the consciousness of that presence and that power. And we say, it is so, and so it is. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your presence online and in person, coming to see Armand and Angelina, but more so coming for your own spiritual growth and edification. I invite you to come together today, stay and visit with each other and share your hearts, heart to heart and connected. And so it is today. Thank you very much.